Let's take it from the beginning. Who introduced you into pornography?
My friend introduced me to it. I used to attend a girls' school,
Okay.
only girls' secondary schools.
So if 5% of the videos on your phone are porn content,
Yep,
do you have a favorite category?
I do. Interracial, black and white.
When you started having sex, like after the first experience,
Yeah.
how did you continue with the same person or did
Yes,
you?
I did. It was my first. We spoke at length, and I told him that thing you did that day, you should come do it again. But this time, no it.
So you wanted to do it sober?
Yes. It's not something I am proud of, but yes, I do have addiction to these things.
Hi everyone, my name is Emmanuel and this is Max Confessions. On today's episode, my guest has an addiction to pornography, masturbation, and sex toys. As always, it's not my story to tell, but hers. So let's get right into it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for bringing me on set.
The
And
pleasure
as
is
it
always mine.
is, I am so excited to talk to you.
That feels really nice coming from a guest who is excited to talk to me.
Actually,
Let's get into it because I'm really interested in this story.
it's not something I am proud of, but yes, I do have addiction to these things.
Let's take it from the beginning. Who introduced you to it? What was your first influence into pornography?
My friend introduced me to it. I used to attend a girls' school,
Okay.
only girls' secondary school. So
Okay.
when my dad got me a phone, she told me about Wap Trick and the sites that she always visits and stuff like that, and I had to try it out.
What is WAP Trick? Is it like an app or?
No, it's like a site. It's like
Okay.
Chrome, yeah.
Okay, Google Chrome. So
Yes.
it's like a web browser.
Sure, thank you. So from there, I was able to access the Red WAP. That's where you have the pornographic videos, the pictures, and every other thing. And
How old were you at the time?
at the time I started watching it, so I started my period when I was 11. When I started watching it, I was 13.
13.
Yes, 13 plus.
So here you are, a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
You were in secondary school,
Mhm.
an all-girls secondary school,
Mhm.
and you were introduced to pornography by a friend
Mhm.
who was already active in the lifestyle or who
Yes.
was already
Yes,
watching it,
I was
right?
already watching it.
Okay. The very first time that you watched porn, how did you feel? Like, how did you receive it?
At that time, I had this feeling of disgust. Yeah.
You were disgusted at what you saw.
Yes, and the one I had the chance of seeing at that time was the one that involved the spitting, the gagging, and stuff like that. So it was traumatizing.
So it was okay.
It was crazy.
Having seen this content
Mhm.
and it obviously disgusted you, it wasn't something that you were anticipating to see again.
Mhm.
What was the driving force to want to see another one?
Okay, so there's this thing about porn, yeah. If you click on a particular video,
Yeah.
it directs you to another one too. Like under the video you've watched, you see other ones.
So like a library or like a playlist.
Yes, like a playlist. So I kept clicking, and it was as time goes on, I got used to what I was seeing, and I was able to differentiate this one from this one. You had the rough one, you had the love making and stuff like that. And I just turned it to a movie thing. That's what I turned it to, and I got used to it. And then when I started having sex at the age of 20.
20.
Yeah, 20.
So you consumed pornographic content for 7 years before you ever had your first sex.
Yes. My mom was not even making it. She wasn't making it easy for us. So she was this kind of person that if you go out of the house, you usually have this curfew for 7 p.m.
Okay.
So if you stay out of the house past 7 p.m., be rest assured that as soon as you enter, you're opening your legs for Monsi to check you. So there was no way you would do something and she will not know.
Let's talk about that a bit. Because just an episode or two before this recording,
Okay.
I had a conversation with a girl
Mhm.
whose mom always checked her every Saturday for 10 years. Talk to me about the process or the procedure that your mom used to check for your virginity, or to ensure that you were still
Okay,
virgin?
my mom never used any objects.
Okay.
She just uses her finger.
Mm.
I don't know what she checks. I don't know what she checks, but I read something about this thing about the hymen and
Okay.
stuff like that, and I think that was what she was trying to find out if it was
Still intact, or
Yes.
if it was broken.
Exactly, but she never used any object. She uses her finger, or she just opens it. You know when you're very sure that you've not done anything and you
Yeah.
just open up and be like, "Mommy, check me."
Yeah.
Yeah, and she just looks and says, "Okay, God save you."
The fear of being checked, did it hinder you? Was it one of the factors why you remained a virgin from when you started consuming pornographic content till?
No, I had friends. We had this thing. Us being virgins, we were like, we won't disvirgin ourselves until we get married, and even if we disvirgin ourselves, to tell each other. That same year, we had this thing. My first friend came and was like, "Baby, I tried it. It was so sweet."
So was that a trigger for you?
It was. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, and then the other one, she goes, does the same thing, and then I felt betrayed. Like, okay, it's just me in my own world. That was when I actually became very active in watching porn. Very, very active. And this time, it included me touching myself.
Did you know about self-pleasure before consuming this pornographic content, or was it in the phase of watching these things that you
Yes,
realized
it's in the
that
phase of
there was a
watching this
thing?
movie. Yeah, they do this. Their stuff like a movie.
Okay.
Starts from the girl touching herself, using stuff on herself, using her fingers because she's horny and stuff like that. And then the guy comes in. They keep like close to a minute or so for you to watch this girl touch herself.
Okay.
Yeah, that was where I started learning how to touch myself.
So how was the feeling?
At first, I didn't do it right, so I hurt myself. But as time goes on, I got used to it, and the pleasure was mad.
So you became addicted to pornography.
Yep.
How did it digress to sex toys and masturbation?
Sex toys came in when I started having sex. I started having sex when I was 20. That first time was no good. It wasn't, honestly. We we had this game, and if you don't do this, you drink. And before you knew it, I just woke up and I thought it had done.
It wasn't like it was consensual.
No, I was drunk after, and I was shagged in my sleep.
Oh wow.
I had mixed feelings, this anger and happiness.
Anger that it obviously happened without your consent.
Yes,
And then happiness that it eventually happened. So now you can live your best life.
exactly. So when I got home that day,
You spoke to your parents about it?
I had to. That day I got home very late, 11, because I had to get myself together. We had to get drugs and stuff like that. And then, so when I got, she knew that something had happened.
She just saw you and she knew that something
She
was
knew.
happening.
In our language, she asked, "You've done it, Abby?" At that time, I just started crying because there was nothing I could say. This time, there's no way I can tell her, "Mommy, come and check me." Where's the confidence?
Yeah.
It was not there anymore. And she started crying.
She didn't take any action against him.
No, I didn't tell her the full story. I
What
didn't
is
have
the
to.
abbreviated story that you told her?
I didn't tell her any story. I just told her I did it.
When you started having sex, like after the first experience,
Yeah.
how did you, like, did you continue with the same person, or did
Yes,
you?
I did. It was my first. We spoke at length, and I told him that thing he did that day, he should come do it again. But this time, no drinks.
So you wanted to do it sober,
Yes,
and did it happen?
it happened. We met.
And how was it this time around?
It was dope. It was wonderful. He taught me, like, it was just like someone being in class. He taught me how to do so many things.
What are the things that he taught you?
Can I go into details?
Yes, please.
How to give blowjobs, how to squirt. He taught me how to use a sex toy. Yes, that was the first time I've seen a sex
So
toy.
he was your influence into sex toys.
Yes, this tiny bullet thing.
Bullet vibrator.
Yeah, he showed me how to use that. He actually taught me, and I'm actually glad he taught me.
How long were you guys together?
Not long. Just after that, 1 month after that,
Did you get on with someone else?
I did not get on with someone immediately.
Okay.
He had gifted me that vibrator thing, and at this time, I was fully into porn.
You kept the vibrator
Mm-hmm.
and you weren't involved with any other person.
Nope. had to stay or stick to porn and the vibrator. And it was one hell of an experience. Like, it was just mind blowing.
So it was just porn and vibrator also.
Porn and vibrator. And it affected me. It really affected me to an extent, yeah. I can just finish having sex now. Like, mad sex, mind blowing. Calm and quiet and everything. And immediately after, I started watching porn and touching myself again. Like, I just feel I'm not satisfied until I've watched it and touched myself.
So long as you don't touch yourself,
Or I don't watch porn,
or you don't watch porn, you don't feel satisfied.
Yes, it's something I am trying to work on because I don't feel it's cool at all.
How much did this porn influence you and influence your sexuality?
A lot. You don't get like, this is me, this is porn every day of my fucking life.
Every day?
Every day. I download, I watch, I delete, I download, I watch, I delete.
Like how much content do you consume every day?
Out of 100%, I'd say 85.
So if 5% of the videos on your phone are porn content?
Yep.
Do you have a favorite category?
I do. Interracial, black and white.
What are the things that you consumed in pornographic content that you actually brought to life? Like the things that you watched, things that you saw, and you replicated it in real life, sexually?
The BDSM, sorry, I'll mention it because it's something I watched and enjoyed, and I had to experiment. Fact that one could get tortured and still feel pleasure at the same time. So I did bring that to life.
And you liked it?
Yeah, I did. I've tried rimming.
Rimming?
Rimming, the threesome.
Okay, so you are okay with having sex with more than one partner at a time?
Yeah.
What other toys have you experimented with or have you explored other than the vibrator?
Dildo.
Okay.
The BDSM sets, the nipple clamp, the whip, and other ones. Yes, I have.
Have you been to an orgy before?
Once.
Once?
Once.
Sex parties?
Not really a sex party, yeah, but you know, this situation where you guys meet and you start playing truth or dare, and everything just goes like.
So that has happened?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not like I'm proud of it, but yes, it has happened.
I'm not judging.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the conversation.
Yeah, right?
So my bit is to ask questions that I believe those watching would want to get answers to.
Right.
And then, because whatever it is that you're experiencing or whatever it is that you're going through, someone who is watching this content is also going through something similar to that.
Okay.
And, by the way, if you're still watching this content up until now, that means you really like what we're doing. So I will plead with you to please like this video and leave us a comment, right? Increase the engagement on our platform. I'll really, really appreciate it. So please like this video, leave a comment. And if you're feeling really generous too, you can as well just subscribe to the channel. Thank you. How has this affected your life so far?
Negatively. Because I've not really seen the positive side of it, yeah? The only positive side I've seen is me being good in bed.
Yeah.
But has fucked me up.
In what way?
Imagine me with my man. We just finished shagging.
Yeah.
And immediately, beside him, I am watching porn and touching myself. If you are my partner, then you catch me doing that, what would you think?
So has it caused any relationship breakup for you?
Yes. I mean, it made him feel like he was not even good. He wasn't doing it right. And then he tried having a conversation with me like, babe, is there something I'm not doing right? Am I not satisfying you? What's the problem? And I keep saying, there's no problem. And that shit pissed him off. There's no problem, now you're doing this thing. I tried to stop, but it was not working. And then one day he was like, oh, let's just... Did
he satisfy you sexually?
I swear he did.
But because you were already addicted to watching porn, you just couldn't help yourself.
Exactly. He did satisfy me. It was good, the right size, the right amount of freakiness and all that. Honestly, I'm trying to work on it. I'm really, really trying to work on it. Like,
have you stayed away from it for an extended period of time? Have you been sober for, like, let's say a day or two or something like that?
Yes, I have. Last week I was so tempted. Even this week. So imagine I'm ovulating and I'm supposed to be very, very active, sexually active. During your ovulation, that's why you go crazy. For the ladies, they should understand this.
Yeah.
Right now, I am in that situation and I so want to watch it. I so want to touch myself up.
But you're fighting the odds.
I am.
So that means you're actually you're on the path to pulling back and then renewing your mind from all of this.
I hope so. I don't know if it's working, but I hope so. Honestly. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if it is working, but I hope so for my sake.
Are you currently in a relationship?
No.
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 What if you're with a man who actually doesn't have a problem with you consuming pornographic content or touching yourself?
That's okay. But what's with touching yourself after you guys just fucked? It makes him feel like vegetable, like.
To be very frank with you, I think is the reaction that you got from your ex-boyfriend that is making you feel this way. People differ. A might not like the fact that you guys just finished having sex. Both of you are seemingly satisfied, and then you turn to porn and you start touching yourself again. B might not have a problem with it.
I understand, but too much of everything is bad.
Why does this feel like this is guilty conscience speaking?
Because, I don't know.
I understand addiction being an over dependency on something.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not cool to be addicted to anything. So there is that subject of addiction on one side. But on the other end, what I'm talking about now is, what if you actually have a man who doesn't give two hoots whether or not you touch yourself after you guys had just had sex? Or if you meet a man who enjoys watching you touch yourself, would you feel this way? There's a term for that, voyeurism. So if he's a voyeur and he actually enjoys sitting back to watch his partner play with herself for his viewing pleasure, would you feel the way you're feeling?
I don't know. I don't know. God, I've actually not thought about it. So.
By figuring out the answer to this question, you won't feel guilty for liking what you like. This is my perspective and this is my 2 cents. I may be wrong, I may be right, but it's just how I see it.
I still need to go and ponder on this. It's actually nice that I spoke to you about this and you're able to give me a piece of advice. And I need to go think about it. And I don't know.
Something is telling me that the basic reason or the more reason why you feel like this is because you probably lost a very good man who wasn't comfortable with seeing you touch yourself right after you guys had sex.
Yes.
And you haven't dealt with that guilt.
True.
Would you want to talk about it?
I don't know. I still do not know. I mean, I don't know.
Is there something he said to you that really hurt you?
No, I felt I hurt him because he was really trying to have a conversation at that time. He wanted to have a conversation. And if only I had the conversation with him, then we would have resolved it. Would have tried to find a solution to it. But I kept saying nothing. Nothing is wrong.
So for every time he asked you, you just gave him the nothing is wrong?
Yes. And then he was like, you know what? I'm done. I am done.
Do you think that's something there's something you could have done better right there?
I think I should have just told him about my addiction to pornography.
He didn't know about it?
He didn't know about it.
You kept him in the dark?
Yes. He didn't know about it, honestly. He just felt he wasn't good enough. That he had that thought in his head. Every time he had sex, I noticed he was struggling. So we have sex today and he sees me doing this. And then the next time we try to have sex,
he will put in more effort.
He ups his game, he stays longer.
Okay.
But we do our thing and he has this way of making it enjoyable. Right? And then we do our thing and I still go back to do it. And the third time he still tries to up his game. So I notice he's struggling. So me not trying to have a conversation with him is bad.
There was this constant desire to improve on what was already good.
Exactly. And at one point I noticed he actually came up with this thing of talking dirty and spank him, which is something he didn't do from the start. I just noticed he was struggling. No, bro was
What
struggling.
stopped you from talking about it?
I'm sorry, I didn't know. See, I didn't even know.
And you were in love with this guy?
Yeah, I was. I'm sorry, I was.
But you didn't tell him?
Mm-mm.
And he was struggling with trying to like understand what exactly is wrong. What am I not doing
Yeah,
right?
I
And
think
you
I
didn't
think
open up.
I think he wanted to know so he could work on it.
Do you think your relationship with him would have been better if you had talked to him about it?
I think so. I mean, I regret losing him. I do, because that day he just told me we're done. Mama, this bell rang in my head like, eh?
Have you had another relationship after him?
That did not even last years.
Have you spoken to any of your boyfriends or any relationship you've been in about your addiction?
No.
Even if you go into a relationship with a guy now, you won't talk about it?
No, if I go into a serious relationship with a guy now, I would definitely talk about it. That's if I'm not able to work on it.
Do you think your boyfriends will judge you if you tell them?
It depends. I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm trying to understand why you haven't talked about
Yeah,
it.
maybe that's why I've not talked about it.
So, fear of being judged.
And fear of one guy. Maybe if I now fall in love now, one guy will just leave me because of, eh?
So, your fear of losing a relationship is the reason why you don't actually communicate with
Yes.
them to know that, okay, this is what I'm dealing with.
Yeah. That's wickedness, right?
No, I won't tell me wickedness, but I feel like it's a determining factor to, I mean, you lost a relationship that you really wanted to sustain, like with a guy you loved because of this particular thing. Zero communication. And communication is on the bedrock of a lot. So many people are in loveless relationships or their partners have mentally checked out from that relationship just because there was little or no communication between them.
My bad.
The beautiful thing about this show is the things that we talk about are things that are everyday experiences of everyday people.
Yeah, right?
So someone watching this content right now is also dealing with something like this. It doesn't have to be the addiction part. It could be the communication part. Maybe there's something about you, health-wise, family-wise, or about your finances that your partner doesn't know, or things that you've dealt with, or things you've gone through, things you've been through, right? And you haven't communicated it to your partner. Could be a wife talking to a husband, could be the husband talking to the wife. And I want to believe that after this conversation, your take home should not be just, okay, you came to talk about your addiction or the problems, the things that you're dealing with, but a solution moving forward. One thing I'll definitely prescribe is you being a bit more open.
I've seen people, that will use what you've told them against you.
So it's from a perspective of not being able to trust people.
Yes. I mean, what's the point? I had to confide in, I confided in you because I felt, okay, you could help either by giving me advices or helping me out, right?
Yeah.
And then before you know, hey, Lord.
I understand how betrayals work, and I
Right?
understand how painful that can be, like when you actually talk to someone about something and then the next thing the person
Exactly.
is using it against you.
So I can only trust myself. I can only trust myself enough to tell someone, see, talk to me. The kind of people you're surrounded with are not the kind of people I'm surrounded with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The fact that I have stupid people around me does not mean you have stupid people around you. You might have people that are ready to help you out no matter what.
Yeah.
So overall communication is good though, but you see me, I'd rather shut up.
So the only thing I can say, I can't make a case for pretentious people.
Okay.
Do they exist? Yes. Do I know they are there? Of course. Have I encountered people like that? Yes, I have. The only part where I'm coming from is one of the ways I know how to gauge people's level of understanding and their receptiveness to certain subjects is, this happened to so and so of my friend though, and the person's response in that situation will give you an idea what you can share with them about yourself or not. Because how you receive a made-up story that I told you about another person will show me how you receive a story I tell you about myself. Distinguishing factor in this particular case, this scenario that we're talking about, is your boyfriend has seen you a couple of times playing with yourself and watching porn. So it wasn't alien to him. All he wanted was for you to talk about it. So I still feel that at that moment, it was easier to talk about than losing him completely. Because even after losing him, his friends will ask him, "What's up? What happened between you and your girl?"
Yeah.
His story will be, every time we have sex, she will go back to porn, she will masturbate.
Yeah.
And because he didn't understand it, he would make it look like you're this nymphomaniac. Because he personally didn't understand what was going on. So you see the difference.
Honestly, I still feel guilty about it. I do, and well, the deed has been done. I'll take correction from it.
So looking back in hindsight, do you think there's something you could have done differently?
I just know I should have just communicated. That's just it. At that time, he was looking for communication. That's what I should have done. Communicate.
I agree with you because a lot of things have spoiled in people's lives, in relationships, just because they did not communicate.
Yeah.
I am a strong advocate that understanding will actually keep a relationship longer and in better health than love. But I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I don't believe that love is all that. I believe in love, yes, but I don't think love is a sustaining factor in relationships or in marriage or anything. I feel like someone you understand and someone that understands you, you guys would last a lot more longer than someone you just say, "Oh, I love this person." That's my opinion.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It was really a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, thank you for sticking with us to the end of the show. What is your take home from this episode? What did you understand from this conversation? What is your 2 cents? And do you have an advice for her? Because she will be in the comment section reading. Like I always say, it's a community. We're trying to build a community of like minds, of very humane, sympathetic people that understand the plight of another individual, right? So please leave a like, leave a comment, share this video, and also subscribe to the channel. And if you want to be a guest on this show, please leave a message on Instagram at 1206.tv, and we'll invite you to come over and grace this seat, right? It's been a wonderful episode, and it's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to have you stick with us to the end. My name is Emmanuel. This is Mass Confessions. This was her confession. What is yours? See you on the next video.